We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
Clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this.
Bronny James for three. Opening quarter. Step in, steal. Yabusele trucks his way to the rim.
And so forth. So I understand what everyone is going through. The boys, this community come together. James the man.
Did Bronny James truly earn his NBA spot, or did LeBron make it happen? Some analysts are calling it favoritism, while NBA players are staying quiet. But the big question is, can Bronny prove he belongs in the league? Bronny James' biggest issue isn't just his last name, it's his scoring output. At USC, he averaged under 7 points per game with poor shooting efficiency, numbers that don't justify an NBA selection. Many undrafted players with better stats never even got a chance, yet Bronny landed on the Lakers. His summer league struggles have only added fuel to the debate. If he couldn't dominate in college or showcase elite scoring potential early, how can he compete at the NBA level? The real question remains, did Bronny get drafted on talent, or did his father's influence push him ahead of more deserving players? LeBron James has never been one to shy away from the media, but his public confrontation with StephenASmith shocked the NBA world. Instead of handling the situation privately, LeBron made a direct and aggressive move, calling out the well-known analyst mid-game for his recent comments about Bronny James. The issue? Stephen A had bluntly stated that Bronny was only in the NBA because of his father, a sentiment shared by many, but rarely said so openly on national television.
We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
While some defended LeBron, saying he had the right to stand up for his son, others felt his response only proved how sensitive and defensive he was about the topic.
The truth of the matter is, as a father, you know, like a lion, you always talking about the lion. You got to protect your cubs, and that's what he did in that sense. Maybe he's been waiting for that moment.
Stephen A refused to back down, standing by his words. Bronny is in the NBA because of his father. That's just a fact. Shannon Sharpe, a longtime friend of LeBron, offered a more balanced take, acknowledging that while LeBron was understandably protective, it was impossible to ignore the reality of the situation. LeBron has the right to defend his son, but let's not pretend this was fair competition. The heated exchange quickly became one of the biggest stories in the NBA, igniting a debate on nepotism, favoritism, and whether Bronny truly earned his spot in the league. But that was just the beginning. At the heart of the controversy is a simple but crucial question. Would Bronny James be in the NBA if his last name wasn't James? A closer look at his stats compared to other undrafted players raises serious doubts. Despite his solid but unspectacular college career, Bronny leapfrogged over more accomplished prospects who were either sent to the G League or never got an opportunity at all. Was this just another case of NBA politics at play? Some analysts argue that while Bronny is talented, he isn't at the level of other young players who didn't make the cut. JJ Redick, there are G League players better than Bronny who never got a shot. Let's be real.
Maybe put him in a tough spot, you know, flying up yesterday and, you know, nationally televised game and Philly, all that stuff. It's, you know, he didn't play well, but he's been playing great, you know, in the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great in the G. So I have confidence in him, but obviously didn't provide that at a high level.
Kendrick Perkins took an even stronger stance, bluntly stating what many were thinking. If he wasn't LeBron's son, he wouldn't be in the NBA, period.
Let this be his moment, right? His starting point without his dad, okay? I think Bronny James could have a hell of a pro career.
Beyond his on-court performance, there's also the LeBron effect, the undeniable influence LeBron has over the Lakers' front office. Given his unprecedented power as a player, many believe he pressured the Lakers into drafting Bronny, ensuring they would have the chance to play together before he retires. Was this purely a business move, or was it truly about Bronny's potential? With the debate raging on, one thing is clear: Bronny's every move will be scrutinized, and he will have to prove to the world that he belongs in the NBA on his own merits. But with LeBron controlling the narrative, will he ever get a fair chance to do that? While LeBron James has made it clear that he stands by Bronny, not everyone in the NBA is as vocal about their feelings. Publicly, Lakers players have shown support, congratulating Bronny on his journey and welcoming him into the team. But behind closed doors, it's a different story. Many NBA players aren't happy about how this played out. They just won't say it out loud. A former NBA player, speaking off the record, hinted at the unspoken frustration in the league over Bronny's selection. We all know what's going on here, but nobody wants to be the guy who calls out LeBron. That's the power of LeBron's influence. No player wants to be the one to challenge a superstar of his stature, especially when calling out Bronny could mean backlash from fans, the media, and even within the Lakers organization. However, not everyone is staying silent. Draymond Green, a known LeBron ally, kept it real when addressing the controversy. If Bronny's got a Lakers jersey on, he's my teammate. But let's not act like he earned this the hard way. Even though Bronny isn't the first player to benefit from nepotism in the NBA, his case is arguably the most blatant example in league history. Unlike past father-son duos, where the sons were legitimate lottery picks or worked their way through the system, Bronny skipped past more skilled players because of his last name. The silence from most NBA players isn't agreement. It's fear of speaking against the league's biggest superstar. LeBron James has built his entire career preaching about hard work, earning your spot, and proving yourself on the court. He has publicly criticized players who don't give full effort, calling out teammates and even young prospects for not putting in the work. But now, with his own son receiving special treatment, those same values seem to have disappeared. Skip Bayless, never one to miss a chance at calling out LeBron, pointed out the contradiction. LeBron used to say, hard work beats talent. Now it's talent. Doesn't matter if you're my son.
So many games. Now that I've watched him in Summer League, NBA games, G League games, I've seen 2. So many games in which Bronny appeared content to just stand and watch. Rarely initiates, rarely attacks. From what I've seen, and I've watched closely, I don't really see him play that hard on defense. So maybe he still just doesn't trust his stamina?
Even Shannon Sharp, one of LeBron's closest supporters, questioned whether LeBron would defend another player the same way if they weren't his son. If it was anyone else's kid, would LeBron have the same energy? I don't think so. The receipts don't lie. LeBron has repeatedly emphasized that players need to earn their minutes and that the NBA is not a charity league. Yet, when it comes to Bronny, the rules have changed. Would LeBron defend another 4-point-per-game player this aggressively? Probably not. This is where the hypocrisy becomes undeniable. LeBron isn't just standing by his son, he's rewriting the standards he once held for everyone else. The same player who once scoffed at handouts and easy routes is now ensuring his son gets one. And that's what makes this situation different. It's not about whether Bronny can develop into an NBA player, it's about whether he truly earned his place the same way every other player had to. And from everything we've seen so far, that answer seems to be a resounding no. Whenever a major controversy erupts in the NBA, the media takes sides. But in the case of LeBron and Bronny James, the divide has been particularly striking. Some ESPN analysts have chosen to defend LeBron, while others have dared to question the legitimacy of Bronny's NBA spot. The real question is, are certain voices holding back criticism out of fear? StephenASmith, known for his fiery takes, didn't hold back when addressing the situation. I'm just saying what everyone else is too scared to say. His statement reveals what many suspect. Most media figures aren't willing to go after LeBron. ESPN has a long history of protecting superstars, and with LeBron being their most marketable athlete, it's no surprise that some analysts tiptoe around criticism. But a few brave voices have spoken out, risking their reputations by addressing what many fans are thinking. Jay Williams made a brutally honest point about Bronny's draft situation. If this was just about basketball, we wouldn't even be talking about Bronny right now. And that's where the controversy deepens. social media isn't as divided as ESPN might want to believe. While LeBron's fan base remains loyal, the general NBA community sees Bronny's draft as a clear case of favoritism. On Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit, countless fans have called out the Lakers and the NBA for allowing this to happen. The outrage is far from one-sided. If anything, the media silence makes it look even worse. Every time Bronny steps on the court, he isn't just playing for himself, he's playing to justify his entire draft pick. JJ Redick summed it up perfectly. Bronny isn't just playing for himself, he's playing to justify his entire draft pick. This is where the pressure becomes both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, he has access to LeBron's mentorship, elite trainers, and NBA experience. But on the other, every single move he makes will be scrutinized. Every bad game, every missed shot, every turnover, it will all be used as proof that he doesn't belong. The question is, can he handle it? Some believe that LeBron's long-term plan isn't just about Bronny playing in the NBA, but rather about securing one final historic moment before retirement. If Bronny struggles in his first season, will he stick it out and try to improve? Or will this experiment quietly end once LeBron walks away from the game?